then of subtle manipulations and garish physical abuse. Veterans and ex-convicts with hard fists and irrational resentment. I could open myself in cars and backyards until I bled, moaning harder, more, like you wanted to break me in half. Call me slap, slap my face. My flesh is parchment. Brand me. Make me say please. Call your friends, then call three more. Show me what teeth are for. I could tell them Indian summer possessed me, the reddening siege in woods of demented jackrabbits, impassioned farm dogs, flinging their fur into metal, their flanks burning, the air on fire. This is a poem called By Madness Rude, and it's from my book Lullaby for Sinners, which I understand is sold out. It doesn't help ordering it. The first printing's gone. I don't know if they're going to do a second print. I was by madness wooed. No flowers on porches with swings and fireflies, no wrapped with ribbon chocolates, but a stained brass lamp he found, sifting debris in a Skid Row alley on trash day. He gave me a sun-smoothed stone, pried from a desert back road, when he was lost one high noon, just driving and collecting bits of yucca gone gray and bony as amputated fingers. I love this, and his whispered recitations of crimes, jails, gay bars, police, whores, drugs, his first wife, a suicide. He showed me scars where a knife cut, and the residues from accidents, drunk nights and car crashes. He grew orchids on his roof and slept there in an August of derelict hotels burning, smoke rushing up like a gutted down pillow into streets thick and red with ambulances screaming, the air raw and bleeding. Then he said he was wanted by the state of Arizona, as if thousands of bodies were waiting, writhing on sheets, legs spread and begging. And I begged. I gotta tell you, I really love you, Venice. There is some part of me that will be forever Venice. It's a poem called Rushing. Wild moths beat your eyes wide. You are the candle and arc of light. You find the fragile blue pulse. You say it's all in the smell of alcohol and ripening lemons. The light bulb, glistening yellow metal, like a captured moon might be. It's sailing the harbor at Puerto Vallarta, swimming warm water and black sharks to a cove of wild boars and waterfalls choked by ferns. You taste it, filling your mouth and lungs. As you ride into the Salinas Valley, drought-hot November, vineyards and walnut trees gone red. It's behind your eyes, on your tongue. It's the field where Daddy took off your training wheels and you careened that first bicycle through stakes of stiff, ash-colored birch. It's learning to tell time again and not get in cars with strangers. 13 years of psychiatry, and they're right. It's Mother unbuttoning her blouse, giving you her great white breast at last. You bite through her startled ribcage. It's day breaking over Hollister, California,
land of pine cones and artichokes, hills of horses caught behind the spoils of fences as you ride to the whitecaps and ice plant, clawing the slow dunes at Moss Landing, fields Viridian, fields Salamander and Coral, all edging into harvest, and it's Mazatlan and Moss Landing, Massachusetts and Majorca. My God, it's the fields of Mars. Stiff winds cutting paths through red grasses beneath the twin amber breasts before the moons went blind and the vines dried. Your arms have been carved by stars. A Santa Ana wind slams through your lungs. This is love, baby. You are young, naked, your navel filled with platinum. It's a sea breeze curling in soft swirls across cliffs just born on the moon, and it's all of your childhood, all at once, before you pull the needle out. I just finished, which is called Opium in August. I prepare for my lover. I've been practicing 18 years. I wear high heels, rings. I am sunburned darker than the women of this world. I am Greek, Jewish, gypsy, my 7 veils intact, tarot cards and gold beaten stiletto ready. I know everything. The sheen on dwarf palms, the tiled terrace fountain spilling itself amber, slow, starlight on the hookah, and I am a Persian courtesan arranged like an offering beside flowers, murals, mirrors, the final answer, what you were born for. Opium in August. How it begins, a desert storm, lightning into heat and no rain, the sky torn. How it ends, and the white cotton sheets in between, the apricot nail polish and letters written by cream yellow lamplight in between, a picnic at a lake, a fishing trip, scotch in a cup, and riding later, after, fast through heather and foxglove, as if the horizon mattered. This is called Some Women. You know, Some Women? Some women are born to sin. It's a calling, like the cloth or politics. A certain sensibility, a kind of music, church bells, brass lamps, wallpaper with a small floral print. They save postcards from European cathedrals. There's never enough light, and the wind, a subtle, anxious presence about to break in, and the clerk's cousin on 3rd Street was raped last week. Such women start with names like Laverne or Betty Jean. They change them. Give themselves extravagant spellings, invent relatives blatant with prosperity. They find themselves living with alcoholics who beat them. They wait for the police, the hospital to call. It's always midnight, burglar alarms, almost winter. Clouds are white as lace, and lace, it seems, was once important. Such women believe in love. They move slow. They are vanishing like the buffalo. You see them across a room. Their eyes are bruised, saying, use me, get a stick, going deep and sharp. I have nothing left to give but the truth. They wear too much cologne. Their voices are tropical, moist palms, metallic green insects, something hot, unpaid for, pagan. With them, it is June in a slower, warmer century. A river flows, sullen with summer past fenced back porches embossed by fireflies. Something goes wrong. After all the women's magazines, the skirt patterns, the dusted parlor, the overstuffed chairs, and he doesn't come. One day, you are watering an azalea. You are 24. You turn your back, reach for a match, and you are 31, sitting in a bar, asking a strange man to dance, to press against you his pants, and you're saying, I'm reckless, get drunk, drive too fast, don't give me promises, just show up with cash. Some women get strung out on flesh, need it like an addict. The architecture of bone, the danger at the center, how it burns, that tightrope walking between men. Such women know one day he will appear, the one with the tourniquet and laughter, some 6'2" West Texas cowboy. He's going to send you roses, get your father's blessing, ride you into the sunset and never come back. One day you are 31. You squeeze the universe down to pocket size, run where your blood runs. All the rest is lies. This is great. I haven't seen this many of my friends in one place since the last time I got married. Like I'm often asked, do I do anything besides just trash my own family? And as a matter of fact, I do. And this is a poem that I wrote for. I trash other people's families. This is a poem I wrote for my dear friend Wanda Coleman, who is also a very good poet, and you know Wanda Coleman. Anyway, this is called Moths, and it's for her. And when after I do Moths, she's going to read one that she wrote for me. Hot Watts in July, pastel boxes and barbecues in a sawed-in 2 oil drums somebody found, and night coming down, heat coming down on coal skin, men leaning on shuttered storefronts, passing bottles and brown paper bags. All slow motion as a Sunday in Mississippi 100 years ago. Where are you? Black between palms, a black tree woman gypsy, an archivist of the book of accountability, keeping track of the rats, the rip-offs, the white picket fence. You part shadows with a machete, push back poison darts in a childhood of starched, white God. Aunt on the organ, Ma up past her ass and oatmeal cookies. You sifted tea leaves in private, you and the white devil, while moths congregated. Inexplicable. Each July, thousands of moths nested 2 months on your front lawn. The connection implied retribution. And your brothers, Cub Scouted out, black squeezed into blue like a walking bruise, and Dad picking up the tab for the whitewash, scheming to erase your 7 leopard skin veils, humming ball and chain, while looking for a man he could sell you to. Them framing PTA letters while the ghetto went up in flames, in a Watts steaming with knife fights and joy rides, in a July when the moths returned like a gray warning. The July of moths passes. It is not moths, friend, but bones. They fear the bones that sing, thigh bones measuring experience in a steady 4/4, absolute as the yearly rain rings trees wear. Your precision disturbs. They want your bones to fit the pastor's niches, pimp's back seats and bushes. They want you a dazed snake in a basket, mindless as string, a slave to the flute. If you grew a hump and ran for the hills, they would trap you as they do wolves and trade your pelt for whiskey.
Hello, Venice. You bring back old bad memories. This poem is for Kate Braverman. The lady with bougainvillea in her eyes cries, death, her father. Cancer eats away at the family, a brother who'd rather forget. Memories of harsh words glisten, garnets, cool, crisp, hospital walls close in like two tight fists, and mother, a shrieking heartbeat silenced by pending shadow of the scythe returns thank you notes for flowers. Oh, this mouth of pain, this moth that lunges to be free of cocoon. She enters long black hair kissing worried shallow cheeks and 3-inch stacked heels upon the stage. This poet vamp clasps her arms at the elbows. In the quiet of the lobby whispers, Daddy, U.S.O.B., I love you, and sinks into the folds of her heart. Keep fighting. We're all pulling home. Oh, this house of pain. And in and out the neighborhood swoop victims looking for the victim. Madness, the furtive moon appears on her doorstep, threatening rape. And 3 blocks away, the love of her life drinks their future into oblivion while she fights lust for the needle's plunge, remembering, Daddy needs me to be straight. And oh, pain. Would that she be in Mexico mainlining cocaine, languishing in the plaza of lost love, her heart exploring catacombs of the dead, where she would go to meet her father among conquerors. I wish I had written. And we thought we'd just kind of, slide into it together. It's called Sweet Mama Wanda, and Sweet Mama Wanda and Sweet Lady Kate tells fortunes for a price. Dark stairs, me walking up them. Dark stairs, me walking up them. The room is cold. I am here to fuck, cold. Then go back to the streets. I am here to fuck and go back to the streets. He sighs, touches my
cocoa thighs,
touches, likes my lips on my cocoa thighs.
we lay down,
The
the bed yields,
yields,
he comes off calling mama.
Mama!
Outside,
Outside.
I count my cash.
I count my cash.
It's been a good night.
Oh, such a good night.
The street is cold.
Cold.
I head east.
East.
I am hungry. I smile.
Oh,
I know,
I know
what tomorrow,
what tomorrow
is all about.
is all about.
Thank you. Wanda Coleman reading from her book, Black Lady from Black Sparrow Crest. One of my, this is one of my footprint in the sands of time poems. This is about 2.5 years ago. Anybody knows the ending can shout it out, all right? You know the part that comes after gold? 2.5 years ago, there were gaps everywhere. I ate breakfast at sunset, drinking wine and sleeping pills, laughing and crashing into doors, setting sofas on fire. I went to buy cigarettes at the Shell service station at 3rd and Robertson. A man walking a dog found me. I was admitted as an OD. The long lines of fluorescent lights look sticky, like rotten marshmallows. The sky was a basket of ruined fruit. They made me vomit the Burgundy 2-all, 2-all, Valium. They made me vomit popsicles eaten at 7, peaches from summer camp, slices of wedding cake. They wanted to know about goals. I've never been careful, I told them. I miss so much as it is. If I were careful, God, I would miss it all. This is a brand new poem called Living Posthumously. Some women live as if posthumously, divorced, aborted, broke and alone in alien cities, screaming into deserted, shabby night streets, drunk and uprooted. Later, they find garrets, musicians, smugglers. They learn to lie with ease. They contrive a glamour, reeling wildly out of control, careening down the center divider, striving for the plate glass shell, wrists first. Such women drift gossamer, marry to the air. They work without a net, without a rope. They know what they are. They pick up men with tattoos and rap sheets, court the unexpected, the one with glazed eyes and a razor. They take handfuls of pills, drive the Pomona freeway at 95. They are bad winners, bad losers. They flaunt their triumphs, sentimentalize their defeats, the disasters they have collected. They demand both awe and pity. Such women have dispensed with up and down, the literal progression. They're on the carousel. It never stops spinning. They circle like moths, drawn to the dive into light, a death with honor and fire. Such women flirt with exotic forms of suicide. The swallowed scorpion, the leap from a roof in Dior. It is danger they love when the air itself stalls, a permanent July carnival neon. And yes, they're near the pier, drinking beer with sailors, exalted, red mouths open, wide enough to drink the sea. This is another brand new poem I wrote on a recent fishing trip I took. I brought a pencil, you know. It's called So This Is Love. And so where is my beer?
Sideways on the back.
This is the other one. Damn. So this is love. And I said to the sky, take me now, while I lay on the ground in this man's arms, beside a fast rushing stream in July, unutterably flawless and opening star thudded the blue, deep and unvoided. Ask me if I would die for this. Yes, this blue-winged communion, yes, with the sky a temple and the unbreakable feel of him. Take me Mars, take me Saturn, take me while I burn into him, through him, and his belly is a warm moon swollen with salmon, and he holds me, so compelled by stars he weeps, and I drink his tears. If I could speak, I would say this is passion, and there are absolutes, fine, sharp, unmistakable as art, as daggers, moments when the mouth is salted and permanently changed, when the air itself is a state of blue grace I would bleed past the bone for. After the chaos, the hot valley floor, scalped, tough-brushed, barren, mute with sullen fortitude, withstanding. After the yucca, Joshua, agave, haunting the bleached shells of hills in the stilted, mouthless breeze, in an unrustling dusk, there are anchors, some final breakwater. There is a coming home, and amazement, and calm, and him laying belly down after breakfast in damp jeans and sunglasses, 10 feet away on the far side of the campfire. I could cross the space, could sit at his side, with my throat the stained glass of a Gothic cathedral, with a blanched lizard on a near rock, and trembling whisper, so this is love. This is the poem I wrote after I got back from the fishing trip. It's called Nile River Song. If he leaves me in August, I think I'll go to Dubai. Lose myself in that air of jasmine and locusts. Let the moths of history feed on me, on this obsolescence of flesh. I could say on some alley, cobbled stone and whiter than a dried scalp, with the night stinking of ginger and urine. It never meant anything. I wasn't his kind, not blonde enough, too much belly. I opened my skin like glass, loved hysterical and clawed with the intensity of a wounded bird, with the wisdom of a thing that has died over and over, and risen with the precision of a sun. He said it bored him. I've never been consistent or promised to shed my special edge, but yes, when he packs, I'll go to the Nile when it's yellow as a hill invaded by wild flowers. Get blessed in the river at dusk when it's calm with drowned men and typhus, and slide in, eyes first, and begging for blindness. It's a poem called Confession. You know, when you turn to confessional poet, you should write a poem called Confession sooner or later, right? If he can live without you, he will. I have bound my feet and limped, biding my time, bereft, alone, deserted in a feasting season by pimps, married men, and lunatics. And any woman waiting for a man is a whore. I know this, and the secret pulse of men who kill in winter. The hair is not enough, or fields of quail, fox, bear. It is the more fragile hide they prize. They will skin you in the end. Pack the sweaters mother knitted, photographs and sheaves of poems. They oil their rifles. They go home. You smell suitcase leather for weeks. You breathe it in like ether. Wind blows through your rooms, eating the disarray, the empty tequila bottles, the evening gowns twisted on the stairs. For once, I will tell you the truth. The only killer left in this house is me. This is another one of my solid gold oldies. It's called Spell. Anybody know that poem? It rained the rain of curses and world's end. Puddles erupted in the plaza outside the cathedral in Palma in an unnaturally windy October, 2 months before you left me at Christmas in Los Angeles, my hands frozen on tinsel, breathless and stunned, gasping for air. I was one entire year drunk with grief. May you have a nest of squalling infants, stupid women, plants that die, illness, and the endless redress of sunset. Once, I loved you softly, lazy as a wife hanging sheets in noon sun, accepting the parallel lines of our life, that impossible balancing act. May your autumn be indecently callous, prolonged and broken. May winter strike without warning, a series of sponge-thin afternoons withering and spilling their guts on your lawn. May you be empty and cut, and know the moon is a monster, and night poisonous, black as a sea of rats. May you sleep with fever and splintered dreams, and sense me, incandescent with the grandeur of unspeakable malice. I will you in this life and all others. Change the pace a little. Los Angeles Crest Highway. This is one of those poems that just got written. There's two people riding in a car, and I've got a notebook. That's it. He says the women don't matter, the ones he pays. They're like the antique chairs and thrift store rugs he paints. Still lifes he tries not to touch. The high desert coughs in your face. He says the yucca in the snowbank needs one special beetle to complete its sexual cycle. That short season when it pushes out a massive midsection, explodes the thighs, and lays down a suggestion of shell. He's driven the back roads from Los Angeles, Riverside, Victorville, and Crest Line hang on his belt like scalps. Sand feeds him cold splinters of sky. You've never understood this man, or why you need him. Surely another could have tied your wrists with red velvet ribbons, made your hidden parts open, glistening, a collection of star sides, a whirlpool, a phenomenon. Girl, girl, girl. He says he's going to paint a woman swinging naked next. You think of her young legs floating above a tapestry of rug as he drives into an icy late afternoon mist. You sled into a creek of just melted snow and lay in the white and cold wet, afraid to breathe, afraid to move. He's standing on the hilltop above you, above the timberline, where the trees twist bizarre and unkept like the savages at the end of a race. This is called Transformations in Green. I wrote it in the West Indies. This is from my philosophical period. There are entire continents beyond my folly, warm pirate zones of subtle sea femininities and banyan hills of mangoes and emeralds. Night has lilac teeth and whispers of white Madagascar jasmine. Here the secrets of hurricanes are given, their swirling circular lust to mate, to crease the sky with their own and spawn in what would be barren. The moon erupts, pearl-tongued and forgiving. I am a leaf eater, embroidered by sudden green rain. I am the pattern on the tortoise shell where the sea etched her dazzling green history. In a just-born ridge, above painted coves and green, hypnotized cliffs, I bury fury, wild eyes, and the evil that glows. Beyond certainties of death and obvious ruin, there is a further wilderness, awesome, named for a luminous warrior king. Here, in rum-sweet air, I will with jade breath enter into delicate green covenants and know my life as a psalm. This is the first poem I ever wrote. It's called Cobalt Blue. Not the first poem I wrote, but after you've been writing about 15 years and you throw everything out and you start over. The winter I learned colors, my father got the cobalt blues. He bled in his sleep the week we learned apple red. Friday is white and black, throwing stones in the snow by the railroad tracks. The neighbor boy, vying for the gold star, whispers, he drinks milkshakes after treatments, spends entire days in bed. She brings him lunch on a tray. I collect clay models, fossils, the transformation of a butterfly. But this big man is becoming a boy. We move next door with neighbors, raking leaves, cutting knees, pushing rag dolls in backyard swings, driving to town for matinees, monster movies, mutants in the woods, atomic wars, worlds where all things were scarred like a knife crisscrossing someone's father's throat. Preparing for the inevitable, she cancels my piano recital. A stream of strangers wander our corridors, buying brass lamps, the new china plates. A truck waits, men load crates. Leaves fall outside a screen door. She touches his flesh. The winter I learned colors. She was 26. This is the title poem of my first book, which is called Milk Run, and apparently it's the only book of mine that's available. You cannot order Lithium, and Lullaby is sold out, so there's still a first book, which is called Milk Run, that might be around if Papa Bacher chatted in. I was the rag doll you wanted in childhood, on the stoops of other people's houses and lives. You even ironed the ribbons on my baby smocks. So what if I coughed and was born scratching my eyes and needed special silk mittens to guard against damage? You were a brunette then, chain smoking and baking pies. You woke me at 3 a.m. to drink hot chocolate in the cold old kitchen and watch the first snow fall. Mother, your hair has turned yellow. Everything is yellow. California, the sun falls into the ocean. I am 10 and puffy in second-hand party dresses, failing math, needing eyeglasses, friendless and waiting for you. But your bedroom door is closed while you cry over conspiracies. The foster homes where they gave you scraps from their plates and you never had a key, not even in winter. Then the gambler husband who got cancer. Now this daughter, pale, afraid of everything. The strange slatted trees, the thick sunlight. A girl with nightmares and bad posture no one will want. Mother, why do you come home so late? I grow hair under my arms, but you don't notice. You are dressed for work, black high heels and floppy hat. I could never be as pretty as you, even when you cry, hurling yourself against my locked door, shouting while the wood breaks and beating my face with your hairbrush, and you never ask about boys. Then the fat one comes to marry me. We are both saved. What does it matter if his parts don't work? If his thing coils in his lap like a plump dead worm? I got the ring. I go to college, collect recipes. What does it matter if my hands shake and I take sleeping pills? I can be patched, mended. At 19, nothing is permanent. Not even the fat boy who can't talk anymore and mumbles and sleeps on the floor. He'll become a professor if he survives. Mother, what color is your hair? We live on different sides of the city, a flat no man's land between us. You did not know the second one. He had a sick smell of dark rooms and smoke enameled to his skin. Past marriages clung to his pale flesh like nets with sharp edges. Silence drew his lips tight and frozen like fish strangled on hooks or impaled roses. Junk took his teeth in small yellow pieces. Now my lovers fix the things that break, fasten light bulbs and hang shelves. They take nothing. There is nothing left to take. In the early mornings, palm trees sway in a light that is perfect, thin, exquisite, covering the gutters of Washington Boulevard in the softest gauze. My fingers are naked. By choice, I sleep alone. Mother, from here on, it's a milk room. It's called My Garden. I've done a series of poems. About once a year I do a poem called My Garden. Sort of chart my progress. All day there is the press of you accusing from the dusty corners, the edge of the unmade bed. I spend days in my tiny garden, an anomaly stuck and forgotten between factory buildings. Fall takes your ferns. Only my hemlock grows invisibly, a searing green burning my eyelids. You will find me in wind, complaining, hallucinating, wanting too much, when I should be baking and singing haunting lullabies while watching the clock and soaping and douching and polishing my cunt. My, how time flies. Listen, I have been skinned in slow motion, beginning with the fleshy pads of my palms, that hidden nest of taut nerves punctured with wide black holes. I am dark and shy, manic and impossible. I did not expect necrophiliacs this soon. My flesh is loose, white, and insects feast, bill collectors, police. My father, 62 now without grandchild. Fall rattles the garden wall. Violated trees gasp for breath. I am always half asleep. Ice hangs on my leg bones. Laughter cuts sudden channels in my throat. I cough, smoke tumbles my lips. You do well not to come home at all. Is there anything special anybody wants to hear? Hello? All right. Let me read this poem called West Indies Prayer because Jim wants me to read it. It's wakening from graceless, hibernated half-sleep into the spangle-lit more than trance of Barbados, floral, coral. My dead tongue says cassia, orange orchids and open coconuts, open archaic brown thunder in raw banyan hills. Take back the bad black bells of hell and open hot rain, make me whole, clean, with eyes enough and limbs enough for one last, not haunted, not frantic, not broken song. Open! Absolve. Too long have I been lone scavenger of the harbor, Our Lady of blood and moon-induced frenzies, shouting outrage into clouds, shallow and aghast, my mouth bruised by curses and dirge. Forgive. Let this be the letting, the jettisoning from safe, self-debased, and implacable pain into an other, a transformation, a shedding and release. In the port at St. George, wharf laden with ginger and nutmeg, the concurrent pieces of my life float the ocean and are gone. The cream-green sea skin splits, the hatchery empties, and it is terrible to mourn in summer. Here I cannot hide alpine in my private crystal-hearted winter, my diamond bitch winter, where I have masqueraded as sister of night owls and albino hawks. On Grand Anse Beach, I am encircled by women in cobalt and crimson print gingham, waving hand-sewn dresses across warm sands. The world dissolves behind blue stripes, red dots shimmering like a flock of preening, plumed, and sunstruck jungle birds. I am sanctified, opulent, and would dare. In Grenada, the boulevard is vine swallowed, and one can resist by sheer grace. There is always the void, the dark, slow, amber, glowing, and becalmed gulfs of what is intractable. So what? In the shantytown, windowless shacks and broken boards, women sew, beige and brown piglets at their feet in the shadow of a dynasty of green volcanoes. I flow as the river flows, reaching for the warm center, the final green corridor where two wizened women lean against a water pump, discussing death, the scriptures, and the incorruptibility of the flesh. This is called Navigating by Bells. It was a Sunday after rain, and I could navigate by bells. The late December clouds floated slow, as if they too drank vodka and slept late. The air was late. I held my long black hair with ivory combs. I wore perfume from Mozambique and a strand of amber pearls. Your eyes were blue, brilliant as sun-struck glacial ice, irresistible as the metallic flames of prized oars. You sat wrapped in a silk-lined quilt and read Pound out loud and whispered, "Your hair looks like wood," and the ground cracked. Noon was blue stars, blue asters, the Indian Ocean, more blue than I asked for. Trees stood engraved, unnaturally green, pagan, silent, hot. I thought it could end now, closed like a Chinese silk fan flapping shut. I'm going to end with this poem called True Story. And I want to thank Venice for having me, and do it again in 2 weeks at Beyond Baroque. And this is a true story. They say I write black and love death, madness, pain, etc. Art is for the few, the rare as inventive criminals, mutes, or the survivors of surgery. I am speaking of blood matters, passion, risking everything, leaving a husband and children, this is a true story, to fly to Caracas with a part-time dance instructor named Ramon. And woke up broke in an unspeakable port, regretting nothing, saying, I lived for his cha-cha, his rumba, the light glancing off his pointed and shined black shoes. We boogied all night for months. From Buenos Aires to Lima, we crossed the Andes twice. I would die to get this poem to rush like a current, a drug. Always some will refuse, will keep their secret names and other dimensionness, their abundant, unyielding, infinite childhood, The vivid season of incessant, edgeless birth, the maw and yawn of the giant's mouth. What the fuck would you die for?
Thank you all for coming. We have a collection bowl on the way out to the left of that door, and it all goes to the poet. Next week, we'll present here at the Old Venice Jail, Dennis Dorney and Garrett Hawkins. Thank you all for coming, and the chairs can get stacked along the side. You'd be so kind as to help us along the right side of the cell block. We'll file out slowly. Oh, definitely, yeah.
Party. Diane's going to be there opening the door. Everybody. Just go. All right, Lisa, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Who are you? Let me give you directions. Someone over there opening the door. Okay, it's not going to be directly on your register. This is like offering something. See you there. I realized that after this book came out. No, I don't right now.
push the tape that This is the good one. This is the good one. Okay. The batteries are very weak. Oh, you gotta go. This tape was made on that tape. I cannot vouch for its quality. This one is good through
Mary's husband, well, she's working, she's on the commercial. So the cowboy outfit. We enjoy it.
Okay.
Well, it's right down the street, so,
How you doing?
I really enjoy it.
I'm doing fine.
You're getting,
You want me somehow?
Yeah, I'll send those other ones back to you.
Well, Stan,
I'm gonna be,
talk about my house.
yeah, I'm gonna be typesetting
Okay,
real
I'll give you
soon,
some
so
notes.
if you got something.
Yeah, I will.
I was on the radio.
for one of our parties, I know. We have great parties.